Hi everyone, I'm Tanisha and I'll be explaining you what model we have used and why we chose it and basically what flows what we are doing with the flows. So we had a lot of discussion and we prepared 14 flows. That's a lot of flows, but the main flows are the clean data, then the selection of attributes, the second one, then the third one clean data validation, and fourth predict price, fifth test price final, and the seventh test predict fail, and predict price final. So the flows that are incorporated in the dashboard are basically the train data set through which we are training the model, and other than that, the test predict dataset that we were given as for predicting the dataset recently. So the model that we have used is a random forest, and the decision trees that it is going up to is 400, and we decided to choose that because, as you can see, there is one flow which shows the selection of models. So based on that, we had various number of models that we chose, which maybe I can show you here. In the models we predicted, we have various number of models which we named and then we used, and based on the accuracy that we received, finally we chose that we'll go with random forest and 400 layers of it. So basically, first we are using clean data and clean data as it might open up soon. First we are doing is we are importing the data set, then we are converting and unifying the data types, because few of the data types are supposed to be numerical like total square feet, but there are range present in that total square feet which we are cleaning and the data type and finally making it to numeric. And then we are dropping few of the columns that show the statistics that have very large missing values. So we are basically cleaning that data, and then we are filling these values with the average or user defined, whatever we think is appropriate. For suppose balcony, we are filling with average, while availability is user defined value. We cannot have average or mean in that. So that is what we are doing. Then after filling also, if the statistics showed that there are some of the values that are left in it, then we are dropping those values, and finally we are exporting this data set, the clean data set with a name train house data set fill. So basically that's what the first flow had, and then we went on with the second flow, which is selection of attributes. So basically, based on the correlation coefficient, we've got we imported the clean data set, and then we chose the required fields. So this required fields we chose based on the coefficient of correlation that came out based on few of the Excel programming that Excel analysis that we ran, and based on that we chose the required fields, which are house ID, total square feet, balcony, bath, and there was some code that I had done initially which helped encoding the built-up area, plot area. So we chose that as well, so that the user-defined value data is not wasted. Then we made the two copies of it, and we used one of them to predict the price, and the rest to just join and finally have a very good data set. And this we finally exported after merging with named as selection of attributes. And after this, we were given one validation data that also we used, and that data was used and then was run with test price final. So basically, this clean data validation had the same thing. So the why it happened that we got 14 flows were, initially we did not think of filling the values, we thought of dropping them. So it resulted into the loss of data, which we realized was not acceptable for us to train the model, as well as for SVNIT evaluation. It needed certain number of data points, so we use that, and that is why we chose to fill the values rather than dropping. And that is why there are two data sets that we got after cleaning. One is by dropping and one is by filling. So we finally had the SVNIT evaluation ran also, and after that, finally I would like to explain you what we did with test predict. So the data cleaning process was the same, but as observed, the data had missing size value, which was used in the train model initially. So we changed the training of the model because that would have impacted what we did with the test predict price. So definitely we changed the train model, then we came again here and chose the required fields, and accordingly imported the data that was given to us. And finally we had our predicted price, which we chose in the SVNIT evaluation, and we have the results here in the final matrix. Finally, I would like you to see our dashboard. So this dashboard incorporates everything that we have done.
My name is Ved and I'll explain the dashboard to you. So here is, you can see the keys of the same function have the same color. So it's easy to identify as a user what is function of each key. The arrows in the flow depicts the flow between the data set or the keys of each function. Also, since it was not mentioned in the problem statement that values should be editable, so we didn't go for that type of solution, and we just used the data which was provided. Otherwise, it could have been edited on spot. So this is what we learned during our span which was given. We really enjoyed the learning curve, and thank you for this opportunity. And I would also like to thank you for listening to our presentation. Thanks.